Winnipeg Hockey Talk would like to welcome you to its live version of Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets with host Harley Friesen and WinnipegHockeyTalk.com's owner and writer, Mitch Casper.
Welcome back to another episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talk. Let's dive into this week's random thoughts and see what the Jets have been up to. Yeah, exactly. We need all the summer vibes over in this cold weather. Thought 1. Let's start with the basics. The Jets went 0-2-2 this past week, which obviously isn't what anyone wanted, and right now they're sitting 6 points out of a playoff spot. The good news, they've got games in hand on everyone ahead of them. The bad news, games in hand don't mean much if you aren't winning.
No, true. I think the overall record is 15, 17, and 3. So
Yep.
we're 2 games below the Gary Bettman 500. Disappointing week. This is the first week since we've been doing this where they haven't at least won a game.
Oh, there we go.
We had 2 points, 2 points out of 8. And I'm going to tell you something. That single point last night was massive. It was huge. I was so happy because we're down 3-0. We're fighting, clawing, had some chances, and finally KC notched a couple. And he's funny because he goes through those streaks, so he scores too. And now we're going to the Christmas break, so it's nice when he gets on a heater because it's good for the team. But we're suffering, and I'm still optimistic, but man.
It's pretty defeating.
Well, it's depressing. I mean, this market, we live for this team, and how do you go from winning the President's Trophy as the best team in the regular season to basically almost being in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes? Oops. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, thought 2. Although I doubt this could really happen, the Jets are now officially in the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes, as you just kind of mentioned there.
Yeah. The reason I say I don't think it'll happen is just this team is too good. Even with all the flaws and troubles they're having, I don't think the only way we could tank. And how do you tank when you still got 55 games left, 57 games left? I mean, they wouldn't even for 1 second thinking of tanking. But when you got Morrissey, Hellebuck, Velarde, Connor, Scheifele, I don't care if the rest of the guys were all from the Manitoba Moose. You're not going to finish dead last and win the lottery. So, I mean, we jest and we joke about it, but it's not happening unless we have all of our good players getting injured. So let's forget about it. I would rather. I don't ever want to have the first overall pick. That means we went through a hellish season. There's time to rebuild and tank. Right now, we're in a spot where we should be retooling, and Chevy's got to get off his ass right after this roster freeze and start trying to improve this team.
Thought 3. You haven't done any in-depth calculations, but you believe the final wild card spot in the West might be available with as few as 88 to 90 points. There are no easy pickings at the bottom of the league this year. The so-called bottom feeders aren't automatic 2 points anymore. The Western Conference has a lot more parity than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, for sure. There was times where there was a couple teams at the bottom. They were just a gift 2 points for whoever came into town. But now, right now, we're the weak sisters. Who would have thought? But no, in the past, you're looking at 92, as high as 97. But the second spot, I have a funny feeling 88, 90 might get it done. So
You might be spot on there.
well, we'll have a better idea. Well, yeah, well, let's say just after Christmas at the halfway point, we'll see what the second wild card team has for points.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Point 4.
Oh,
We
I could go for a coffee now and come back. Man, I was just
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
on that keyboard.
yeah.
We have a big one to add to the put that in your pipe and smoke it file.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's get into it. Sports fans love to analyze what's gone wrong, what's going wrong, and who's to blame when things go south. And Jets fans are no different. There's been a lot of venom thrown around lately, and honestly, a lot of it is valid. But I do want to defend my guy, Jonathan Toews. He was a risk, he was a gamble, most fans were excited about it, and so far it hasn't worked out exactly how we hoped. That's fair, but I don't think Toews is the biggest problem on this team. If we're talking about the blame game, it starts with Kevin Cheveldayoff, the architect of this mess. You've got underachieving forwards like Gus Nyquist and Cole Perfetti. Dylan DeMello has become a liability for Josh Morrissey at times. Luke Shen brings intangibles, but not enough to outweigh his poor analytics. The inconsistent play of Neil Pionk, our highest paid defenseman, is concerning, and even Dylan Sandberg, usually reliable, has been inconsistent. How much of this falls on Scott Arniel? I think he deserves some of the blame. There have been some strange roster decisions, but he can only play what he has available, and that brings us right back to the top. Mark Chipman and Kevin Cheveldayoff are steering the ship, and unfortunately right now it's heading straight for an iceberg. There's still plenty of season left and enough time to right things, but once the Christmas trade freeze ends, they need to get to work. Bottom line, there's lots of blame to go around, but Jonathan Toews is far, far, far from the biggest problem. Put that one in your pipe and smoke it.
Yep, smoke it hard. I don't like the unjust criticism because we knew we were getting into. But if they were naive enough to think Gus Nyquist at 35 years old was going to have a miracle rebound from this pathetic season last year, and same thing with Tanner Pearson. Those are okay depth guys for maybe a late playoff run or whatever. But as far as regular season goes, if you're going to have a guy like Pearson on your fourth line, you may as well have a prospect or a young kid to apply his trade. Nothing against Tanner Pearson. He made a nice play on Morgan Barron's goal last night, but his highlights are few and far between. So it's put it this way: it's been 15 years of the same management group, of which, depending on who you talk to, we're not really sure who's steering the ship. How much does the ownership stick their nose in there? Is this all Chevy? No. Mark Chipman is playing fantasy hockey along with Chevy, and they're not doing a good job. And like I said, they're running straight into the iceberg, and another wasted year of Scheifele, Connor, Morrissey, Hellebuck. I mean, something's got to give. I expect wholesale changes. And you know what? For Mark Chipman, I know it's tough. They're close. They're loyal. I mean, you know what I see happening? I see Kevin Cheveldayoff getting a promotion upstairs, becoming, well, he already is the VP of something or other, but getting a president of hockey operations, and then he'll hire a general manager, look after the team, and hopefully keep his fingers out of it. But it's time for a change at the top. Well, you can't change Chipman, he's the owner. But I think he's playing fantasy, tinkering with the team too. Although I just think that there's not enough tinkering by those guys, and they're much too loyal. So yeah.
Point 5. You don't consider the Jets a small team, but you honestly can't remember seeing a team that loses this many puck battles. At times, they look incredibly feeble.
Yeah, feeble's being kind. They're so light on the sticks, they get knocked off the puck. There was a time last night in the game, Vlad and I don't know who it was, they had the puck about 4 or 5 feet inside our blue line, and the guy just came up and just gone. We don't protect the puck. Well, I shouldn't say we, because there's a lot of guys that are very good at it. But overall, our puck management is so poor. Those little battles, man, we lose so many of them, and yeah, when things are going bad, I notice all that stuff, and it's
how can you not?
It's frustrating, and yeah, we got some big guys that are good along the boards, and we don't win enough. We're not fit. I don't think we're physical enough at all for a big team. Like Hellebuck always has guys in front of them. We're not strong on the puck. It's frustrating. But then you see once a game gets desperate, they get tougher and faster. They got to start coming out of the gate like that and just being physical, stronger on the puck. It's not too late to start. But so, maybe some of these guys, it's you can't change their stripes. They are what they are, and if that's what they are, get them out.
There you have it. Thought 6. You have a question for Scott Arneal. Hey coach, what were you thinking with your forward choices in overtime against Ottawa? First shift, 81, 55, and 44. Second shift, 17, 14, and 4. Third shift, 7, 91, and 54. And then on Sunday against Utah, he starts 17 in overtime. He loses the faceoff, goes for a big hit and misses, which creates a 2-on-1 the other way. And bing zing, the game's over in 13 seconds.
Yeah, we had a whole 13 seconds to enjoy the terrific comeback. What he thinks sometimes, I don't know. Why would... I'm not against Cole Perfetti getting on an overtime, or anybody puts out, but you got to have better choices than we'll say last night. Got to start the big guns, and if you're gonna tell me Lowry was out there to win the draw, like I said this morning on my little morning show. Jonathan Toews is sitting at 63%. He's your best face-off guy. And after 2 years of missing hockey due to long COVID, he has more hockey ability in his left toe than Adam Lowry has in his entire body. So come on, Arneal. And then the game against Ottawa, well, that game went back and forth, but Cole Perfetti might be too slow for OT. Man, he looks like he's skating in quicksand. He's got great vision, great hands. He's not playing well. And Arneal's throwing guys out in overtime with like 2 goals. Yeah, I get it, but I don't get it. Let's get the best guys. Let's get the best guys out there as often as possible. Ride them until they can't go or until we're done. But come on, man, you got to make better choices than that.
For sure. Yeah. Well, did you want to take a quick look off the playoff odds?
Yeah, I talked about it this morning. I did a little 6-minute video, and I'm going to do them every game now. Harley will chip in a couple too. But as you see, this is the full week now, Monday to Monday.
Oh, cool.
We started out at 36.5, okay? Then if you notice, the day after the Ottawa game, it didn't go down much, like only 0.4. And then the next day we didn't play, went up to 37. But then after that, it's like, and that's because we didn't play, we didn't get any points. And the teams that were kind of chasing, they won or picked up a point or two. And then even last night, Ben says, what the hell, we got a point and we went down to 24%. Yeah, well, you want to know why? Nashville won, they're ahead of us. And one of the other teams we're chasing is Utah, and they got the extra point last night. If we could get that point, I bet you we would have gone from 28 to maybe 30 or 32. But that's how it goes. It's fluid. And you want to see the scary part, fans? Here, let me pull up the schedule. Check this out. So we're right there where we played Utah. We have the week off. Come back home for 2. Guess who we got? The Minnesota Wild, who are playing good. And they just got Quinn Hughes from Vancouver. They got a Josh Norrisy type player. So then after that game, who do we have? Monday night. I would suggest that Monday, you guys just watch us. Forget about that Oiler game, because it could be ugly. I don't think so. I'm always optimistic. Maybe they come back from Christmas recharged, rejuvenate, ready to go. And to finish out the year, we go on the road to Detroit to play. Oh boy, this is hard to say. They're the first place. They're in first place.
Oh, man.
Who would have ever thought that? In a division that has Tampa and Toronto. Now, the only for some fans, this is huge. There is that silver lining, right? But this is good. Okay, you see where we are? At that 24%. You know where the Toronto is? 8%.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Their fans are beside themselves.
They're way down there.
Oh man, you think it's bad here? So that could be the silver lining. As bad as we are, some people enjoy the pain of Leaf fans, and they are in pain.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're jumping to point 10 now.
Yeah, the goalie stats. I mean, Harley's played all the games. His numbers haven't moved. We might not see Comrie until they play back to back to back, and of course that's impossible because it doesn't happen. So Comrie's gonna get a long rest, and the power play, penalty kill. They kind of bounced back to where they were 2 weeks ago. Nothing major to talk about. Okay.
Thought 10.
Yep.
You don't necessarily disagree with the decision, but here's something that makes you go, Are we really saying Cole Perfetti is the only player on this team who's deserved a benching all year?
Yeah, Mike McIntyre from the Free Press asked Coach about, was Perfetti hurt or something, and he basically said, no, the coach's decision. So that's fine. But here's the big but. The way we've played, and this always happens with the younger guys, they never discipline or reprimand the old guys. It's easier to pick on the pups.
True.
So I think that's a horse shit. There's been there's been plenty of guys that have deserved a benching. I mean, if one of the big boys gets benched, yeah, you kind of notice it, but whatever. I just find it hard to believe. So let's be consistent with discipline. What's good for one is good for the other. Man, there's times I would have sat Pionk just for some of the stupid penalties he takes. And even yesterday, when Tanner Pearson took that second penalty, I would have sat him. Your fourth line guys should be shutting down the other teams, not giving them power plays.
Yep. Speaking of power plays, we're going to take a quick look at special teams in Thought 11. All right, so power play is sitting at 11th at 21%, up from 12th at 20.1% last week. The net is 13th at 19%.
Yeah.
The penalty kill is 16th at 80.9%, up from 21st, 78.4% last week. Net 13th at 84.3%, and the face-offs 10th at 51.6%, up from 12th at 51.3% last week.
Yeah, looks like I screwed up. I thought those were the ones we were bypassing. Like I said, it wasn't you. It was me. I started talking about something different.
Oh, the goalies.
Yeah, because for this week it doesn't matter. Everything. It didn't change that much, so we can just bypass that, and we can go to our one of our all-time favorites.
That's right. You all know that call.
Yep, classic song, classic movie.
Sure is. All right. Thought 13. We're on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Good. Kyle Connor might be getting hot again.
Yeah, let's hope that those 2 goals he scored last night
gets him going.
Stick with him, and he comes back hot against Minnesota and Edmonton. We need him.
Bad. Until Kyle Connor and Morgan Barron scored in the third period versus Utah, a Jets forward hadn't scored a goal at 5-on-5 since last Saturday night's 5-1 win over Washington. Try wrapping your head around that.
If somebody would have told me that, I would have went, no way. But you look back at the games.
Surprising.
That some of the goals we scored were by just defensemen. They had 2 in that 3-2 loss. Mm-hmm. And then the 2 goals we scored versus Colorado, one was power play, one was shorthanded, so no 5-on-5. You have to go all the way back to the 5-1 win versus Washington, where we scored that 5-on-5, and that's not a good recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. Yep. Even for Scheif and the boys, as good as they've been playing, wow, I wouldn't have believed it, for sure, to tell you the choice. Mm-hmm. Now the ugly.
The ugly. The Jets are 2-7-2 in December and 0-2-2 since the return of Harley.
Well,
that's pretty ugly.
yeah, it is, and it's funny. It is those numbers aren't all that much difference from Comrie's, except for one thing. Harley's he's basically kept us in every game, whereas some of those Comrie games, they were done after 10 minutes or two. So,
seconds
so
maybe.
to be honest, like last week, if it wasn't for the slow starts we had, we were chasing the game every night. Colorado game, Utah game, St. Louis game, we're still chasing it, being shut out 1-0. If there's something that I despise, like I just hate, it is being shut out, first of all, and losing 1-0. If I'm the goalie, I go into the room and I look around and I goes, you couldn't score one.
Yeah.
That's tough.
There's how many of you and how many of me
And
do your job.
Helly was really good too. Anyway.
All right. Thought 14. You thought Jonathan Taves showed a few flashes of his former self in Colorado on Friday night.
Well, of course, I like him, so I noticed. And the guys that don't like him, I'll guarantee you they didn't notice. Could give a crap. But he put a couple nice moves where he comes down that off wing and he fakes he's going to go around the guy, does that sharp cut inside, snaps off a good shot. He looked good, and he made a few nice plays at that game. So hopefully, I'm not done with it. Put it this way: you have guys on your team that are useless and don't contribute. Was JT going to be our second line center? Well, it might have been a bit of a stretch, but I've seen Stanley Cup contending teams trade for a guy just for face-offs. It's happened in the past all the time. And not even a guy as good as JT. I think he's like, I always round up, because I like him, 63%. I think he's 662.4. So, at least he's that. Well, but we'll put Lowry on in overtime, Scotty. Okay, enough.
All right, point 15. Another thing that makes you go, For a team that lacks foot speed and looks slow most nights, you don't understand why Scott Arniel continues to make Cole Koepke a healthy scratch. Tanner Pearson took 2 penalties on Sunday versus Utah, basically because of his lack of foot speed.
Cole, remember I said last week or the week before, Cole Koepke has NHL speed and AHL hands. But speed's useful. It's useful just forechecking. I mean, it's useful on the penalty kill. It's just useful. You can't beat speed. He was a guy who played for Boston last year. I didn't know a lot about him, but I've come to like him. I can see him being kind of a fourth line guy for a few years. I see no future in Tanner Pearson or Gus Nyquist. So as it turns out, of all those off-season signings, Koepke might have been the best one, but Arniel chooses to sit him as a healthy scratch. Now, in saying that, he might have a couple bumps and bruises because there's no transparency when it comes to injuries, so I'll cut him some slack. But lately, some of his lineup decisions have been weak, and I hope this isn't one of them, but I kind of think it is. And I think that's it for our thoughts. We have some good questions. Man, boys were on fire.
Yeah, we can jump right into those questions for this week. We have our first one from Ben. I wondered if last season's success was really a product of Bones' level of play, and Arneal was just along for the ride. Now that it's diminished, is the spotlight on Arneal and exposing what he really is as a coach, or has he just lost the room? What are your thoughts?
He lost Nick Ehlers.
That's a big one.
That's too easy, but it's huge. We lost Ehlers, didn't we replaced him. We lost the Ferrari, right? And we replaced him with 2 junkers, maybe 3. I'm not calling Taves a junker. He's kind of like a classic car. But our defense has been bad all year too. Not just the defensemen, are just overall team defense. So it's not a hangover. It's not a byproduct of not listening. It's just maybe poor execution. Maybe you did a little bit. Maybe they thought they were better than they were. But they would have figured out by now that they're not. Excuse me, people.
Good question. We have another one from Ben. Does pairing DeMello with Morrissey actually hurt Josh's play? Is it holding him back because he has to cover for a lot of DeMello's giveaways?
Yep. Yes,
simple
it does.
As that.
Well, it's simple. I mean, what are you going to do? Arneal is trying to spread the wealth.
Yeah.
What we could use is a right-hand defenseman, young guy, maybe Swedish, could be named Solomanson. He'd look good as his partner. 2 offensive guys that can skate. At this stage of DeMello's career, he should be a third pairing guy. At best, his best years are behind him. He's still semi-effective, but he's not strong in front of the net. He coughs it up quite a bit. He's just not good anymore. He's just okay.
Moving on to a comment from Sparky. 15 years with the same GM. Time for a new direction.
Oh, I'm on board for that.
Yep.
I mean, the worst thing that could ever happen with a player or a GM is like last year, where we lulled into a false sense of security. Maybe we won a round. We went toe-to-toe with Dallas, so the boys proved they could play. But, I guess after last year, it's possible that Chevy, once again, Teflon Chevy is untouchable. This year, he's touchable. And 15 years is a long time for one guy at the top of any managerial position in pro sports. So, like I said earlier, it's funny I mentioned that, and Sparky said the same thing. I can see Chevy moving up and them maybe bringing in somebody with a different vision. These guys have gone nose blind to their team, and it's time for a new look.
New set of eyes.
Yep.
And another good comment from Sparky. You said that some of our prospects aren't ready, but some of these aging veterans aren't ready either.
Yeah, Sparky must be sober today. Actually, Sparky's probably in Calgary right now. Went to visit his family. But we were talking about that a couple of days ago, and it's true. Some of our young guys, they're not ready. And they're proving some of the old guys aren't ready. And of course, everybody's always thinking, Brad Lambert and Nikita Chiprikov. Well, there's other guys down there that could, maybe deserve a look. Kobe Barlow was injured. Not sure about him, but there's a couple guys, kind of third, fourth line guys that are playing well down. Like they're in the NHL, they're third, fourth liners, probably fourth liners, but they're playing well down there and they're scoring. And for the life of me, I just don't understand what the hell is David Gustafson doing in the minors. He's an NHL player. He can score. He scores very well with the Moose. I don't know why he's down there. He's better than Nyquist or Pearson. And there's a few other guys down there that deserve a shot. So, I mean, you guys like Chevy, he says, well, the answer needs to come from within. Well, aren't some of those guys from within? You think the answer is Nyquist and Pearson now? Come on, guys. Wake the fuck up. That was worth it. Jeez, man. It's for us. Like, it has to come from within. Well, come on, man. Yes, sorry for that. But, it's ridiculous. He's gonna...
That's that.
Well, you know what? The iceberg is getting closer. And pretty soon we're going to have Leonardo, singing and stuff on the edge there. I don't know what's going on.
Have the arms out, ready to sink.
And Celine Dion. I might play Celine next week from the title. Oh, you want to hear something funny? When I played that Welcome Back tune with Harley, when he came back, Welcome Back.
Did you get copyrighted again?
Yeah. Just a little...
You're gonna get banned.
No, they even said this is not an offense, but this is the funny part. Says that your YouTube podcast, that episode is banned in 2 countries. Guess which ones?
Russia, China,
Belarus.
Oh.
Russia and Belarus, because John Sebastian, from Love and Spoonful back in the 70s, he's still getting residuals and royalties from that song, I guess.
Oh.
I guess there's probably old episodes of Welcome Back, Cotter. So once again, Mitchie's on the naughty list. He's paying the price. Yep. So anyway, I think that's it.
Yeah, that wraps up this week's episode. Thanks for listening. We will be back before the year ends next Monday. We wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yep. Enjoy
the season and
yes,
the people you
we
can spend
have.
it with.
It's my favorite time in the year for hockey. Spangler Cup starts a couple days.
Oh.
That's Canada's team is made up of Canadian players that are playing overseas in the European leagues. They play every year in Davos, Switzerland. Davos is the host team. And there'll be a couple other teams in there and they play. It's cool. I love it. It's funny because you watch the Canadian team, you go, oh my, I remember that guy. There's a lot of those guys that were super good in junior. They didn't want to play in the minors here, so they go play in Europe. They play 40 games, get a house, a car,
Yeah.
maybe 50, 60, up to 100 grand tax free. That's a nice life.
Yeah.
And you're playing against hockey in Switzerland, beautiful city. So yeah, why not? And of course, we got the World Juniors starting. Team Sweden has 2 kids. The Jets will be very interested in. So, if you want their names, yeah, Harley, you got them here. Can you say those names?
Alphonse Frey. I
Frey,
don't know.
yeah.
Frey. Sas
Sasha Boya, something.
Boumediene.
Yeah, he's
Something like that. Both
yeah.
from Sweden.
Yes, and the Sash plays for. It's his second year. He's playing for Boston College in the NCAA, and
Oh.
he's a big time player. He's a big kid. He's got decent offensive ability, and Friedel. I think he's playing in the Swedish men's league, their top men's league. So much like Solomonson did, he's playing against men as a junior. So yeah, it's we need defense. Those guys, well, especially Sasha, he'll be here sooner than later. So yeah, have a look at them. Unfortunately, Team Canada didn't think much of the Jets prospects this year, so we don't have any. And the game started, of course, Boxing Day. If you go to my random thoughts article from today, you'll see the preliminary round schedule with TSN, and that all the games are in Minneapolis. So maybe go for a car ride, watch a game. Anyway,
Why
yeah,
not?
I'll reiterate what Harley said. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and you know what? It's going to get better, folks. So like our stuff, subscribe, and have a great holidays. We will see you later.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Join Harley and Mitch again next Monday night at 7 p.m. for another episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talks Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets.